Hello folks. This is me, the Trashman here, and I know I'm looking absolutely gorgeous right now. Look at this prim and proper, clean face, clean shaven. Now, today, my shave is not the subject of today's video, but Half-Life is. But before I get into Half-Life, I must say thank you all so much on the support for the last video. I know it's kind of a boring video and all, but apparently that stuff does well instead of the actual gaming stuff. So maybe I'm just gonna do more of these, like, I guess, face-to-face style stuff. But anyways, enough of me yapping. Let me just talk about the first thing I want to talk about, Path of Exile. Bro, I've gotten back into Path of Exile 1, baby. Ooh. That game is so goated. I love it. I'm currently level 57 right now on a ranger. I've got a toxic rain build, with the ballista totem as well. It's like triple toxic rain. It's awesome, really good. And I'm kind of smoking through the game right now. I just killed Brutus and that one lady in like 30 seconds. So it's pretty good so far, but enough of that yapping. Enough of it. Let's get on to Half-Life, what you've been waiting for. Now, let me just say something. I have been obsessed with Half-Life. As every one of you have known, I have been obsessed with it over the past couple weeks. And I'm making this after I just beat Half-Life 1 again, and I'm in the middle of playing through Half-Life 2 in VR. I have to do VR in increments, of course, because I'm terrible with how weighty VR stuff is. It hurts my neck because my neck, my neck is 12 inches, like in total width. So it's very hard on the neck with how heavy MetaQuest 3 is on the head. But anyway, enough of that. Let me just get into it. So Half-Life 1, I just beat it in hard mode, and it was much easier the second time around because I knew especially where I was going. I beat it in about 6 hours. Hard mode, I'd probably play it on medium most of the time, to be honest with you, if I ever play it again, which I will play it again because I love Half-Life. And it's a very easy game to start up and just play. But the first thing I have to note with Half-Life 1, I think 90% of the game is absolutely fantastic, incredible, and just everything that they got done with a 1998 just heavily modified version of Quake Engine is incredible. Because, like, really, just every time you play it, there's really just something new that you want to do. Like, I just learned recently that the turret thing on the stairs, like where it shoots at the headcrabs, you have a secret ladder back in the area before that if you find it and shoot through the roof, you can climb up the ladder and turn off the turret. And I'm like, that's sick. That is sick. And that's something I love in the Half-Life stuff and Valve games in general. It's just the attention to detail and little side stuff you can do that really in the grand scheme seem like they don't matter much, but really just bring the whole experience right together. But I don't know. Half-Life 1, 90% of it is perfect, maybe perfect, as perfect as a 1998 game can be. The combat's amazing, except the combat's amazing. The enemy design is incredible, and just a lot of that stuff. It's very fun, and it's just very much a very replayable game. But I have a few issues with the game personally. Now, my first big issue with the game is Zen, but I'll get to that later because that's just a low hanging fruit. First thing I want to talk about, I really think that the Marine soldiers, I like their design, and I do like fighting them sometimes, but they just get on my nerves sometimes with, like, cause like in Doom, for instance, hit scanners are very important to the Doom's gameplay because the only one that fires really really fast is the chain gunner, right? And I think he's important for like area denial, and you kind of have to take up as cover as much as you can. And I think, with a lot of the machine gunners, a lot of the shotgunners, and all that stuff in Half Life, it's the same goal, right? You want to take cover, you want to play smart, you want to, do a lot of things to kill somebody. But there's just so much times where, like, the damage feels really inconsistent in the game, especially with the SMG and the shotgun, especially the shotgun. Where it's just like it takes so much lead just to kill one guy, and then half the time if you're out for even like a millisecond, especially in hard mode, they just instigate, like they'll just take you from like 100 health down to like 30, down to like 20. Like, even if you have full armor, like, it just doesn't matter because you're just gonna lose it all, which I think makes sense because, yeah, it's guns, of course. But still, does it make it as fun to play against as like something as Doom? Like, Doom has, for the most part, has slow shooting, guys that are kind of target priority. And it's hard to target priority someone that like takes so much damage. But once you get the crossbow, I will say once you get the crossbow hit headshots, perfectly designed. Now on to my next thing. Like I think honestly, other than that, my only issue is Zen. Zen is weak. A very weak chapter. I just played through it again. I got through it in probably like 30 minutes or something. Like it wasn't bad at all. Honestly, the final boss is not as bad as I remember it being on my first playthrough, but really once you know where you're going with it, it's still annoying because I think the whole area is designed like for example, there's one area where you're in Interloper where you're kind of like the factory place where you're like kind of crawling through and then once you drop down, you get put in a room full of Voldemort's or what are their names? God damn it. Uh, Half Life 2. Um, um, V. Yeah. Um, Alien dudes. Hold up. Alien dudes. Vortigon. Yeah, the Vortigon. I'm an idiot. Sorry, I keep forgetting their names. There's so much V named aliens out there. But yeah, so basically these guys are kind of charge up hit scans. But instead of having any cover to take, you are put in a room with a bunch of them. Some of them like above you, all that stuff without any cover. And I think I had to reload that. This is why like you have to constantly save in the game, which saving's a godsend for older games. But I just find that a bit like cheap, and I find that just a bit annoying the fact that you're just put in a room that's guaranteed if they even start firing for the moment they notice you just to get hit. I think it's annoying. And the healing pods are like 1 health a second. I just think the entirety of Zen is except for Gonarch's Lair. I actually like Gonarch's Lair. Gonarch's Lair is a nice level. But everything else in Zen is so weak. It's just and you can tell that they were given they were kind of rushed at the end and I don't blame them for that. But it doesn't matter. My overall score of the game is like a 9 out of 10. I think it for what it did to gaming, it is incredible. It's still an incredible game to play today. I think you should play it today. It's a very fun game. If you've never played it, play it. Now on to Black Mesa because subsequently people were telling me that I should have just only played Black Mesa and that Black Mesa replaces Half-Life 1. And I played it. I loved it. I loved it a lot. I thought it was fantastic. But does it replace Half-Life 1? No. No. The hell are you talking about? What the hell were these people talking about? Telling me, oh yeah, it replaces Half-Life 1. It does not replace Half-Life 1. These two are very distinct games, very different level designs. Black Mesa is a remake of one. It remakes a lot of the level design, a lot of like the story bits, especially in Zen. Let me tell you something. Zen, for the most part, Black Mesa, for the most part, is very exciting until Interloper. Interloper is the worst level in all of Half-Life. In both games. But I think Black Mesa's Interloper is garbage. Irredeemable garbage. I think the first section with I think that I may be regurgitating some other points, but like I felt like I liked being able to work with the Vortigaunt, seeing them working and all that stuff. I thought that was fun. But then just once you get to the factory, man, with all the conveyor belts, it's just and then doing the exact same plug in, plug out, same room, same things puzzle 15 times for like 3 hours. It just gets boring, and I just really think it should have been like half the length. I really think they could have got it. Oh yeah, and then the audacity to end it off with a 10-minute elevator sequence that's super slow. Yeah, but other than that, amazing, amazing game. I'd give that like I give that about the same as Half Life One. I think they're both really good, and I love both games. So I'd give them about the same score for me personally. I think you should play both. They're both great. But now on to the creme de la creme, Half Life Two. Half Life Two. When I did that base playthrough, I loved it because Half-Life 2 is just so fun, man. I've seen so many people recently trying to say degrade it to like a tech demo, which I think is really reductive for what the game actually does. It's such a good game. I love the world. I love the Combine. I love all the aliens. I just love the story beats as well. I think it's I think it's just such a fun game. It's everything about it I really love. I don't even think there was like a single moment of the game where I really felt I really felt out of order, or I felt iffy on, because I just thought everything throughout Half-Life 2 was just fun. It was just mad fun, mad action. I know there was like story beats where you're forced to listen and stuff, but even then, like, it doesn't really take me out of the game as much. We Don't Go to Ravenholm is my favorite Half-Life chapter by far. It is so good. If you've never played Half-Life 2, you must. You must play Half-Life 2 at least once in your life. I don't really know where to start with Half-Life 2. The gunplay is amazing. I think that the weapon variety, I think the weapon combat feels better in Half-Life 2, much better in Half-Life 2 than it does in 1. But obviously the lack of alien weapons was a bit miffing. But other than that, really, felt like the gameplay and all that stuff, the gravity gun, especially the gravity gun. The gravity gun is one of the greatest things ever put in gaming. And if you disagree with that, I don't know what thing you're going to be looking towards other than the BFG from Doom and all that stuff. But like, I love the gravity gun, and I just love all the lore bits, all the uh environment, all the architecture just from Half-Life 2. It's a beautiful game. Even to this day, the source engine just has held up amazingly. The vehicle sections, I actually like them. I'm probably one of the few people that actually really like the vehicle sections. They're just really fun for me personally. Especially the air ride. I really like that one. But now enough of that. I thought the ending was incredible. I know there's some people that thought, oh, putting us in another cliffhanger, how typical of Valve. Which yes, I will say it's very typical of Valve with all their games. But I thought personally the cliffhanger with G-Man, like, coming in time, Mr. Freeman, Dr. Freeman, that that whole thing, like, actually shook me to my core. But now it's episode 1. I thought episode 1 was, like, just really short. I liked Half-Life 1 episode 1. I mean Half-Life 2 episode 1. I really liked it, but and obviously working with Alex Vance was amazing. I love Alex Vance. I think her character's great, and I liked just seeing her interact with Gordon a lot. It was very fun. When you kill that Strider and she just gets really horny with Gordon, that was so funny. And it just makes you feel like a badass, really. But you know, it's very short. It's sweet. It kind of feels like you're. It kind of feels like it's just like, I don't know. It's just setting up for episode 2, which is exactly what it needed to be. So it's kind of a set piece that leads up to the episode 2. And I think for that, it's probably the weakest part of the Half-Life games, because it's just a setup into something even greater, which I doesn't mean it's bad at all, because it's fantastic, and I think the story's fantastic for it, and the dialogue's fantastic for it. But now onto episode 2. I don't know where to begin with episode 2. I don't think do I think it's about tied for me with the base Half-Life 2 as like the greatest Half-Life experience for me. But Half-Life 2 episode 2, I played both Half-Life 2 episode 1 and Half-Life 2 episode 2 in one sitting, and I fell in love with, especially with episode 2. You're just with Alex all the time. All the car rides are amazing, all the pit stops, all the action, the hunters. Let me tell you something, the hunters are terrifying, man. Like, whenever you go to against a hunter, whenever you hear the hunt, whenever you like just see the hunters, you're just filled with dread, man. And like, when I saw Alex get stabbed, I was shook into my core. I was actually like, dude, I was panicking. But thankfully, like, when you save her and all that stuff, like, that whole antlion nest was really cool. I really liked it. I really thought those guys in there were funny. They were funny dudes. I'm gonna wrap up this video soon, so don't worry. I'm just yapping for the sake of, I need to get this off my chest. But no, yeah, no. When the Vortigoths were saving Alex, and then the G-Man appeared in the middle of that, that actually, that whole speech left me speechless. I was like, I actually paused the game and just went back for like 5 minutes. It was so incredible. And then when when you're just out there, right, and you see that brain thing that eats people's brains, like 60 and 10 into people's brains. That's the like, when Gordon was about to do it, I was like, I don't want to deal with it, bro, man. And then that stuff was scary, man. And when you finally get, like, deal with that whole, like, battlefield with the what are they called? When you get to the, I think it's the White Forest or something like that. I forget what the name of it is. You get there, and then you fight off all the striders and hunters. That stuff was actually intense. That's one of the few times where I just felt like genuinely tense in the game, like, in terms of actual, like, combat stuff, to where I felt like I was timed, because if they get to the thing, then you lose, and you have to restart the thing, of course. But when I did that, I felt so cool throwing. using the gravity gun to like launch all that stuff on the Striders felt so amazing. And when I finished the game, that ending cliffhanger left me like my jaw was dropping. And that's about where I can say the end of it. I loved Half-Life 2 Episode 2. It was fantastic. The whole Half-Life thing, everything about Half-Life, the world, it's just everything in it. What it means like to gaming, it's just so special. Every game in the franchise is so special. And it's just, I think every part of Half Life has oozed itself into internet culture, and I think forever will. And I think this is the perfect time to make it. I'm not going to make this any longer than it needs to be, or I probably already did, but Half Life so Half-Life 3 is very likely to be somewhat announced at some point. And I know that's people might say it's copium talk, but I think we got to face facts that it is in development. We've seen all the hints with the when the Steam Machine was being revealed, the G-Man face on reflecting off of it, the Lambda key being on the keyboard that they were showing off, all that stuff, and also with a lot of the data mine stuff from HLX. It's just inevitable that one day we might be getting that when that Steam machine and all that stuff releases, Half-Life 3 is very likely going to be a mixed VR and main like base play title. And I think that's incredible. And I think I got into the community truly at the perfect time. If you've never played Half-Life, please do. Have a good day. See ya.